All right, bro. All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by GMSHAWAII by Quadash. We give double honors and seek double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders at Great Millstone for teaching us this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh by GMSHAWAII. Hey, I'm brother Gabar Yahweh from GMSHAWAII, coming to you with another quick lesson. This is an In Transit, and what inspired this In Transit was a series of videos I was watching this morning getting ready for work, and it was about the migrant issue in New York City, and I'm sure it's an issue all around the country where these jakes are being thrust onto America's economy, and as immigrancy is always an issue when it comes to the so-called Negro, Latino, right? Particularly those from South America and from the Caribbean islands, and even from like what do you call it, from so-called Africa. And it's an issue around the country, not just the country. It's an issue around the world. You know, immigrancy is an issue with in Greece, in the UK, in Germany, and like Trump said years ago, it ain't the scientists, it's not the doctors, it's not the well-to-do people coming to these countries to do anything. It's really like the crime-ridden, the extremely poor. You know, a lot of people come to this country thinking that it's a lot of jakes. I'm talking about you Israelites, you so-called Negroes and Latinos. A lot of you jakes come from these different countries, and the Native Americans are Israelites too, but they're not a big immigrant problem, you know, versus I guess you could say that, because a lot of so-called indigenous jakes coming from South and Central America coming up to America hoping for an opportunity to get that dream, you know, that American dream, everything that they hear about. But when they come to America, they realizing that it's a nightmare just as much as it is here as it is in their home countries. You know, Esau done destabilized these different nations in South and Central America, and across the globe, and these people come in here thinking that it's a land of opportunity, and they just turning this shit into what they just left. You know, I was watching a series of videos on TikTok, and this guy, he and Lord willing, I'll try to do a lesson on it later, but this guy goes around New York City with his camera, and he's videotaping these immigrants from Venezuela. And these dudes, they're not coming here to work hard, they're not coming here to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They're being a burden on the economy of America, which this is something done purposely. The reason why they let these borders be so porous is because they're going to use Jake to blame Jake. You know, a lot of these guys coming up here, and women, they coming up here, they bringing their ways up here, they're bringing their instability up here. Like, they got a hotel in New York City called The Row, and I was like, I bet that place is like death row. You know, you go up in that hotel, you basically gotta be a family. You can't be a single man. I think they sending the single men to a converted jailhouse in Harlem or something like that. But the families, they're in these hotels for like 3 and 6 months at a time, right? And you know, living conditions in that hotel is terrible. It looked like a third world country. And it's like one of those movies where the alien comes with an alien race, and then they're being oppressed by Esau. You know, which a lot of these jakes coming from South Central America and abroad, they're coming up here to be I just lost my train of thought. But they're coming up here for judgment. You know, they don't mention them Chinese that came across the border. They ain't even talking about. They're not a plight on society. He had a few years back, the former President Trump, he was complaining immigrants, not enough white immigrants want to come to America. He was like, where are the German immigrants? Where are the Netherlands? Well, this ain't a place for them. They're good in their country. You know what I'm saying? This will be a step down. They're not. This is there's a precept in Jeremiah where it says Israel and Judah were oppressed together, and all that held them captive refused to let them go. And that's what you got here in America. You got the so-called Negro, West Indian, Haitian, the House of Judah. You got the so-called Puerto Rican all the way down. You could throw the so-called Venezuela up in there too. We're here in America. We're oppressed together, and that's what a lot of them so-called migrants that came up here, that's coming up here, and continue to come. That's what they ultimately coming up here for, either for salvation or judgment. And a vast majority of them are going to be judged. And you see the blight that they putting on, because there's no help for Jake when he come in. There's no community set up. Ain't no little Venezuela. You know, for every 100,000 of them that come up here, you make it a Cinderella story. You know, a person who came over here, worked hard, kept their head down, stayed out of trouble. As soon as they got here, they weren't looking for work. They found whatever work they can get, and they started a little business, and now they successful. But the vast majority of these Jakes, these Israelites that's coming up here, the curses is following them from their countries all the way up here. And the hell that they had to the hell that they had to go through just to get here, then to get here and to be thrown into a major city that's already fucking strangled. You know, you already got the Israelites that live and grow up here in this country are being deemed as a blight on society. Now you got Jake that don't know no English, that don't know nothing about the lay of the land, but got a cell phone and a 3 hots and a cot, thrown into a hotel in a major city. And I recently went to New York City, and I remember when it was a time when you go to New York City, you would see Judah, so-called Negro boys and men peddling candy on a train. Hey, the migrants took that job. They walking around with like 3 and 4 kids, one strapped to the back. And what are they doing? Begging for candy. I mean, begging for money to sell candy. You know, and they're probably being paid at a lower rate than you know, the Jake that know this place. And it's that kind of strain, and that's what it looks like through that guy's video. Is that Jake is being oppressed, and that their mere presence alone is oppressing that place. I'm sure you got sex trafficking going on. I'm sure they find the finest Venezuelan women out of that bunch, and they put them in prostitution rings. You got drug dealers coming up here. You got ex-criminals coming up here, and you can tell that these people were shiftless in the countries that they were in. You know, so it's just a problem, and that's why Jake gonna end up being the problem. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Esau gonna make us a problem. So Revelation 12:12 says what? Rejoice ye that heavens and of the sea. Roughly paraphrasing, for the devil shall come down upon you having great wrath, because he know that he had but a short time. And that's what it is. Somehow, some way, this man is going to come down on all Jake. You going to be the problem. You migrants. A lot of you Northern Kingdom, you think that, you know, the white man got a part of you because you speak Spanish. You think that he got favor to you because you speak Spanish, and you worship his Catholic idols, right? But you're going to find out the hard way. Just like every one of us get a nigga wake-up call in this country. You Northern Kingdom gonna get just bigger wake-up call in this country. Watch. And that's why, like, they got that nigga Mayor Adams, that complete coon. He sold out. He sold you out. They don't even mention it on the news. The migrant issue in New York City, in Texas, in these other countries. And it was the Texas governor that put all of them Jakes on them buses and sent them up north, man, and made them a problem. And New York happily took them. You know, happily took them. Because when this thing go down, man, it's gonna be wild out here. And that's why you can see that the Lord is setting Jacob for Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, that day is great, so that none is like it. Is it even a time of Jacob's trouble? But he shall be saved out of it. Right? The he that's going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble is the elect of Israel. Lord willing, we're some of those men. and women that believe on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? But that's definitely gonna be a part of it, man. Cause them jakes that's coming up from South America, they ain't got nothing to lose. They don't. They have nothing. You know, all they got was a cell phone and a court date. You know, they're not gonna be deemed as because they're not gonna be deemed as people that were, what do they call it, looking for asylum. No, they're deeming them as a problem for society. And then, like, it's crazy because again, they're bringing their old ways up here. You got Jake just standing on the corners drinking, getting in fights, beating on people. Somebody tried to intervene in one situation, and they beat this 35-year-old man up, man, because they were yelling and screaming and drinking. You know, again, these people ain't deemed as people that's coming over here to work about a booster. They forget about in the early 1900s, early 20th century here, when migrants were coming over here from the European countries. They were thrown in the ghettos too, and they were a blight on society too. You know, but because they could melt into society and be deemed as classified as so-called white, they got the benefits of this place. Hey, look at the Ukrainians. Look at the Ukraine. You don't even hear nothing about none of them Ukrainians that got brought over here from Ukraine in the beginning of the war. And look how they received them. You know, all these Edomites and these Edomite churches, they received them Ukrainians with open arms, man. They gave them houses. They gave them HUD vouchers. And them HUD vouchers didn't put them in the ghetto. Them HUD vouchers put them in the suburbs, man. They got jobs. They got Teslas. You know what I mean? So it's not that Esau don't got it. It's that Esau ain't going to give it. He's not going to give it to no fucking... They be damned if a fucking... some greasy-headed, Spanish-speaking a demon come up off of that. And you already got homelessness as an issue. America is going down, and it's being set up for the ultimate knockdown. Okay, the wicked of our people, and you got the righteous of our people that's coming up there. They're all judgments coming for both. Judgment for the righteous is salvation, Lord willing. Judgment for the wicked is straight up destruction. They're gonna take that chip. They're gonna die. They're gonna burn right here in North America, man. Because when this place goes to shit, it is going to go to shit, people are going to be trying to get out of here. Especially the migrants that came up here thinking that they were coming up here for a new way, or a new life, a new opportunity. Isaiah chapter 30 tells you that woe to them that go down to Egypt and have not asked of me, so that they may put a covering on that is not of me. If you paraphrase that, a spirit, so that they may add iniquity upon iniquity, because that's all they bring. How the fuck these niggas got mopeds? These niggas out here just hanging out. They got mopeds. They got, you know, they got the dope. You know, they got the money. You know, but they rather be out there and be a blight on society. And Esau set it up that way on purpose. He set up that way on purpose. A lot of Asherites came up here from Venezuela and other countries. And you got Simeonites coming over here from the Dominican Republic being thrown in the midst of that, man. They thought they were coming over here for success, you know. But they come over here for failure, to experience failure. Worse than what they were receiving in their own country. And America don't have the resources. They got the resources, but they're not going to allocate the resources to deport these people back to their back to their own countries. They're not going to do that. One of them going to be an excuse. Oh, lock this country down. Why you should lock this country down and lock your doors? You know, and it's going to be all hell out here, man. Hell on earth in America. Jacob's trouble. A day such as none I've ever seen before. I'm telling you, I see the setup coming. I see it. You know, look at New York City. Look at New York City right now. It's already a city of immigrants, right? But now you got new ones there. New ones. And they're young. You know, young, middle-aged. Ain't a lot of old people sitting out there on the street. I'm not saying there's not any there, but nah, it's the young ones, man. These young motherfuckers that are, you know, filled with social media, filled with drugs, filled with the wrath of the Lord. And it's gonna be an issue, I'm telling you. It's already an issue. And Lord willing, a little later, you know, I'll give some articles and I'll give some video so you can see it yourself. And then they don't even talk about the little Israelite children that were thrown into these concentration camps called migrant camps. Unaccompanied minors, man. Lord knows what's happening to them. You already know. Trafficking, AIDS happening to them. All of that. They're being sacrificed. All of that's happening. Tell you, they're not going to put that on the news. They're not going to put none of that, but they put that in that movie that they showed you. What is it called? The Sound of Freedom. Yep. Whole continent is full of children being shipped across the world for nefarious purposes, man. Kidnapped, man. Never seen their kids again. Parents never see their children again. That's what's going on. And they're not talking about it. You know, so look it up yourself. You can see it yourself. You can look on these different platforms where they're not talking about the so-called migrant issue. You know, look. Don't look on a CNN, your local news radio news station. They're not going to talk about that. You gotta go to these alternative media sites, and you still gotta sift through the bones. But it's there. I witnessed a little bit of it when I was there in New York City, man. And I was talking to one of the elders. We was on a train, and I seen this migrant lady with 3 children trying to sell candy. And I had mentioned, yo, y'all got, oh, that's a migrant. And then old girl turned around and looked at me like she knew what I was talking about. And it is. It's already an issue. You know? It's already an issue, man. These borders are porous as fuck, man. And it's not just America. You got Canada going through it. They got Jake coming from West Africa over there. You got Greece. You got Italy, Germany, the UK. That's done on purpose. If it's happening in one place, more than one place, that shit is a setup. That shit is a setup. They're going to get these people for judgment. They're going to get these people for war. They're going to get these people for bodies. Watch, I'm telling you. You can see it. Because the Lord is calling all these people together for the destruction. This place, America, is one big altar that's going to be set on fire. Okay? Unless the Lord is with you, man, you're done out here, man. And I can see it. I can see them motherfuckers. Them jakes that's coming up here, they straight up demons, man. Straight up demons. Look at San Francisco, man. That place is a hellhole, man. May the Lord be with the brothers, the elders and the brothers out there that's doing the work out there, man. And that's believing. Because that place is hell. That whole place is fucking hell, man. It's like the Wild Wild West. And that's how all these major cities gonna be. Homelessness is affecting all these issues. Shit, where I'm going to go, you know, work, you know, it's a fucking homeless encampment. Right across the street, it's a homeless shelter. They kick everybody out by 6 o'clock in the morning. You see these people living, barely making it. That's gonna be America. All America, real soon. Homelessness is an issue across the country. The housing bubble is about to bust. Okay? The financial bubble is about to bust. So you already got people that ain't got shit to lose. And like Geraldson Lente say, when people don't have anything to lose, they lose it. When people don't have anything to lose, they lose it. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14 on down, it speaks about that. I'm driving, so I don't have I can't pull my precepts up, but read it. People are gonna bug the fuck out for a lack of bread. And you already, like I said, you already got these immigrants as an issue. How much more do you citizens, man? You so-called citizens, right? How much more y'all? You know? It's about to get real out here. Really real out here. And you can see the setup right in front of you. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear. You know, you got them people that's going around with their cameras, their cell phones, videotaping these immigrants in their immigrant state. They're gonna be swallowed up by them immigrants, man. You know? Shit is crazy, man. And people thought they were coming up here for the golden egg, man. They thought the streets was made of gold. This shit worse than in Venezuela, man. But the only thing is they ain't gotta worry about the cartels running down, chopping their fucking heads off and killing them. So they just what they call it, loitering all around in the streets and shit. Loitering, doing nothing with their time. Kids, 1,000 fucking kids running around the streets. You know, it's surprised that them motherfuckers ain't getting grabbed the fuck up and taken off the earth. I'm sure it's happening, but they're not talking about it. They're not mentioning it. I'm sure it's happening though. You can clearly see it. You know? And Jake is just coming up here for the rush. That's all it is, man. Either they're gonna be here, some of them gonna get saved, but 2/3 of them, they're gonna die here, man. They're gonna fucking be destroyed here, man. They're already living in hell. Them hotels, man, they being paid for by the government. Hey, them people ain't getting their rooms clean. That place is fucking trash heat, man. They turned the Row. They got a hotel called the Row. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that is the Row. Death Row. Walk up in that motherfucker, you may not make it out. You know? And all they do, they got nothing to do with their time all day. They ain't trying to do nothing with their time. All they do is they wake up, get high, go downstairs, sit on the side of the street, make a bunch of fucking noise, do a bunch of nothing, destroy each other and themselves, and go back up in there and do the same thing. So it's time to rest again, man. And winter's coming. That's another thing. Winter's coming. You see a lot of them out here right now. Winter's coming, and and a lot of them people that's coming up here, they're being basically pushed to homelessness. I think if you're a single man, you get what, 60 days, and you 60 to 90 days, something like that, and they kick you out, man. You got people crying about how they don't want to be homeless, but you're already homeless, man. You know, it ain't like I said, it ain't like they getting up every day, going out looking for the quickest job they can get to work and save their money. Nah. They're applied on the system, and when the system collapses, man, they're gonna be the first to go. They're gonna be the first out here kicking in doors, rummaging through your shit, getting put to death, shot to shit. And then it's gonna happen to the citizens. And it's really gonna turn up. They're gonna introduce that chip. And all them people gonna run to that motherfucker. They're gonna run to it. Those that are not a part of the elect, they are going to run to it. Because that's where this place is about to go. And it ain't just gonna be New York City. It's gonna be Texas, Houston, Dallas, anywhere, Arlington, Austin, Texas. A lot of them borders are still porous, man. People are pouring in every day. Hundreds of thousands of people pouring in every day. Not just from South American countries, from China, from Africa, from Haiti. Yeah. Shit is real, man. I'm telling you. Shit is fucking real. And you can see the setup coming. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear. Shit, the setup is already here. Coming ain't even a word. You ain't got to use, oh, the setup coming. It's already here. It's already here, brother. So, yeah, man. And that was just on my spirit. You know, I think I talked about it through the spirit. It's more like a righteous rant. But judgment is coming, man. Real soon, man. Next year gonna be a hell of a year, man. This year was a hell of a year. But next year is gonna be even worse, man. And so with that, we give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakakadash, the double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching the word and truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim. Keep pushing, keep striving. Hey, we almost out of here. Hey, shalom. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This that homeless encampment. New York City look like this times a billion, man. These guys out here getting high. This place is done.